माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय नरसिंह भगवान की जय पंच तत्व की जय षड गोस्वामी की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय टागोर प्रेमानंद हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of God, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So Hare Krishna Prabhu's Mata is welcome all of you for this Bhagavatam session. So today we'll be discussing from 4th canto, 12th chapter, verse number 15. Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitam atmane avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropamam. Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitam atmani avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropamam. Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitam atmani Avidya rachita swapna Gandharva Nagaropamam. Anyone, Prabhuji and Mataji can recite.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, chale.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitam atmane avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropamam. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Anyone, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, may I?
Yes, yes.
Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitamatmani avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropamam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Word to word meaning. Manyamanaha, realizing. Idam, this. Vishwam, universe. Maya, by the external energy. Rachitam, manufactured. Atmani, unto the living entity. Avidya, by illusion. Rachita, manufactured. Swapna, a dream. Gandharva Nagara, phantasmagoria. Upamam, like. Translation and purport by Divine Gesture Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please hear the translation and purport. Srila Dhruva Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria because it is a creation of the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. Purport. In the deep forest, it sometimes appears that there are big palaces and nice cities. That is technically called Gandharva Nagara. Similarly, in dreams also, we create many false things out of imagination. A self-realized person or a devotee knows well that this material cosmic manifestation is a temporary, illusory representation appearing to be truth. It is like a phantasmagoria. But behind this shadow creation, there is reality, the spiritual world. A devotee is interested in the spiritual world, not its shadow. Since he has realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in this temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivartate. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnantimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gada Mahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yanta Pravishya Mamavacha Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharsvadhamna Anyam Jahasta Charana Shravanatvagadin Prana Namo Bhagavate Shayatubhyam Mukam Karoti Vachan Pangam Yudham Yatkripatam Namo Vishnu 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 Samhita Navade Namo Vishnu 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 Vacha Vishtana Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhupada Mataji, welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam session. Thank you very much for keeping your appointment with Krishna today, for hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam from 4th canto, 12th chapter, verse number 15. And today is 23rd of April, 2025. So let us see what we can learn from this wonderful chapter and wonderful verse from this chapter. This chapter is entitled Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. See, in this, just now we saw, right, in the translation, Srila Dhruva Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities. Bewilders like what? Like a dream or phantasmagoria. Prabhupada is a beautiful word, right? Phantasmagoria is like a dream. Creating imagine with imagination, so many things. Because it is a creation of illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. See, in one of the lectures, Prabhupada says the plan is already known to everyone. How the management of the cosmic manifestation is going on. This cosmic manifestation is there. This is the material world actually. And although temporary, this material world, although it is very temporary, it has got a purpose. And the purpose is to give chance to the living entities who are rotting in this material world to revive their Krishna consciousness or original consciousness. Krishna consciousness is nothing but the original consciousness. And then go back home, back to Godhead. So this is the plan. So this material manifestation, cosmic manifestation is there. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. 8.9 Bhagavad Gita says. See, it is sometimes manifested and sometimes it is dissolved, annihilated. Everything material, that is the way. See, just like our body, okay, it is created at a certain date and it will be annihilated at a certain date. See, Virat Rupa, Virat body, that is also Supreme Lord, right? Gigantic. Krishna shows this Virat Rupa to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, right? So this external body, exactly just like we have got this external body, right? External body and internal body. See, the soul is covered by two bodies, external and internal. External means these gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, and sky. And internal means mind, intelligence, false ego. They are also material. So within that two coverings, see, just like our body is covered by shirt and coat, right? Similarly, soul is engaged in two kinds of bodies. So when this gross body is finished, the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and false ego, they are there, still there. The soul is, of course, still covered with the subtle body. Gross body is finished. That is called death. But people do not know that there is no death for the soul. See, outward cover is finished, but the inward cover is still there. And the inward cover will carry the soul to another gross body. And this is called transmigration. See, the mind is creating. We are making our consciousness in this life. So we are making our next life also. 9.25 Bhagavad Gita says, Yanti Deva Vrita Devan, Pitrin Yanti Putir Vritaha. So we have got two kinds of bodies, gross and subtle. And within that, I am living, or you are living. That is, I and him, you is the soul actually. Dehinosmin yatha dehe di kaumaram yavvanam jara. 2.13 Bhagavad Gita says, Asmin dehe, within this body, there is the dehi, the proprietor of the body. See, people do not understand that this finishing of the gross body is not actually death or annihilation of the soul. Finishing of the gross body is not actually death or annihilation of the soul. No. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Even annihilation of the subtle body does not mean death of the soul. Na hanyamane, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Right? 2.20 Bhagavad Gita says. So there are two kinds of bodies, right? So when the gross body is annihilated, the subtle body carries me to another gross body. Just to understand this point, just like the air, it carries the flavor of a certain place. Now, if the air is passing over a rose garden, it carries the flavor of the rose. Although we cannot see the rose, right? But we can smell far away. So we can understand the breeze is so fragrant, means it is coming over a rose garden. Similarly, filthy place, a bad smell, air carries, and you get it. So the subtle body carries a mental situation of the soul and puts him into a particular body according to that mental situation. Yam yam vapi smaran, 8.6. Antakale, right? So at the time of death, the mental situation will give me a chance for another gross body. If we have created the mind in Krishna conscious, then the mental situation will give me a body by which I can make further progress. That is given in Bhagavad Gita 6.41. Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Sanjayate. Yoga Brashta. Suppose one has begun yoga. Yoga means attempt to link with the Supreme, right? To connect. That is called yoga. And Viyoga means without any relationship or without any attachment to the Supreme. So, when we try to connect with the Supreme Lord Krishna, then we can understand there is God and I am also there. And we have got this intimate relationship. And that is explained in the Vedas. Two birds are sitting on the same tree. One bird is eating the fruit. The other bird is simply witnessing. So the witnessing bird is Krishna. And the eating bird is a living entity. So Krishna is witnessing all our activities and our mental situation. So he orders Maya, the external energy, Prakriti, that he requires to be given a body like this. And then the mental nature gives the living entity a particular type of body. And they are numbering 84 lakh species. So there is no certainty what kind of body, I am going to get in my next life. But in Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that if you are situated on the mode of goodness, then you will get your place in the higher planetary system. 14.18, it says, Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha, madhye tishtanti rajasaha, jaganya guna vrittistha, adho gachanti tamasaha. So these are the three qualities, mental nature, goodness, passion. So they are working. And we are under the influence of either of them. Either in the influence of goodness, or in the influence of passion, or in the influence of ignorance. So when we are under the influence of ignorance, Jaganya Guna Vritti, that is, then our behavior and activities become very abominable. Especially in this Kali Yuga, it is stated that people, they will not have any fixed time for even eating, sleeping, or taking bath. No fixed time. Anytime. This is abominable situation. We have to study from Bhagavad Gita. What we have to study? What is God? Jiva? What are these living entities? Prakriti? What is this cosmic manifestation? How it is controlled by time? And what are these activities? So out of these 5 subject matters in Bhagavad Gita, it establishes that the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, right? He is a Supreme Controller. So there is a Supreme Controller. And he is the greatest of all. And he has control over all the universal affairs, over the material nature also. So this material nature is not independent. She is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Maya dakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam. 9.10 Bhagavad Gita. He says this material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and non-moving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So he says this material nature is working under my direction. Maya dakshena, that is under my superintendence. See, we are mistaken. When we see wonderful things happening in the cosmic nature, we should know that behind this wonderful manifestation, there is a controller. Nothing can be manifested without being controlled, right? It is childish to think in that way, not to consider about the controller. Just like a very nice car with very good speed, very good engine arrangement, right? It's running on the street. A child may think that how this motor car is running without the help of any horse or any pulling agent. Those days it was like that, right? But a sane man or elderly person, he knows that in spite of all the engineering arrangements in the motor car, without the driver, it cannot move. So we should always know that behind the machinery, behind the wonderful working of the machinery, there is a driver. Similarly, the Supreme Lord Krishna is the driver. He is the Supreme Personality under whose direction everything is working. Krishna says, in 9.5, he says that everything is resting on him. Matstani sarva bhutani. So this should not be misunderstood. Prabhupada says in the purport, the Lord is not directly concerned with the maintenance and sustenance of this material manifestation. Sometimes we see a picture of the Atlas, right? We used to have that globe and Atlas holding the globe on his shoulders. He seems to be very tired, holding this great earthly planet. So such an image should not be entertained, in connection with the Krishna's upholding this whole created universe. He says that although everything is resting on him, he is aloof. So the planetary system, they are floating in space. And this space is the energy of Krishna. But he is different from the space. He is differently situated. So Krishna says, although they are situated on my inconceivable energy, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am aloof from them. So this is inconceivable like opulence of Krishna. Sorry. See, this material world is perverted reflection of the original energy. So this Hare, no, Hare, we see Hare Krishna, Hare. So Hare means we are directly approaching the original energy of the Supreme Lord. We are saying, please accept me under you. Hare, that means we are asking the Lord, please accept me under you. And we are saying, now I am under reflection. I am trying to get substance from the reflection. Suppose a tree is reflected by the bank of a river. See, there is a tree. There are some fruits on the tree near the bank of the river. But its reflection is on the water. Now, suppose that if somebody dives into the river and tries to take the fruit from that tree, it will not be possible, right? Because it is a reflection. One has to go to the real tree. See, we are hankering after life. We are hankering after pleasure. But that is go okay. But we are seeking pleasure in the reflection. Maya. Therefore, we are frustrated, confused. Therefore, the prayer is to the original energy. See, the Lord is not without energy. Radha, Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana, Sita Rama, right? God is always with energy. Without energy, he is incomplete. See, sun without sunshine is incomplete. Is it possible? Can one think of sun without sunshine? See, similarly, Mayavadi theory that absolute is without energy, right? There is no energy. They have misunderstood. Energy is not different from the energetic. See, just like the sunshine is not different from the sun, neither the sunshine has got any existence without the sun, nor the sun can exist without the sunshine. They are so intimately related. Similarly, Krishna and the energies are so intimately related that cannot be separated. But they are not one. This is whole philosophy. See, in dreams also, in this verse in the purport we saw, right? Prabhupada says, in dreams also we create many false things out of imagination. Prabhupada says, a self-realized person or a devotee knows that this middle cosmic manifestation is a temporary, illusory representation appearing to be truth. And he said it is like a phantasmagoria. See, sometimes in 5, I think in 5.14.5, Prabhupada says, sometimes the conditioned soul in household life, being attached to the material wealth and possessions, is disturbed by so many mosquitoes, so many other things, right? So many things gives him trouble. But she still wanders down the path of material existence. Due to ignorance, he becomes lusty and engages in fruitive activity. Because his mind is absorbed in these activities, he sees the material world as permanent. Although it is temporary like a phantasmagoria, a house in the sky. So, when we are attached to the shadow, that is called ignorance, illusion. So, in the material world, we are all engaged in shadow attachment. Therefore, it is called illusion. Maya mohitam. Devi Esha Gunamahi, 7.14 Bhagavad Gita says. So, this is going on, right? Life after life. We are after the shadow. Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayam. Bhagavatam 1:1, first verse of Bhagavatam. They see, like, just like in the desert, you'll find exactly water, right? Water pool of water. And the animal is running after it. It is called mirage, right? So running after it, running. Shadow is also going ahead. And animal is also running. There is no water. He becomes more and more exhausted. Then he dies. Here in this material world, we are running after the shadow enjoyment. Running, 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 day and night, morning till night. Somebody is exhausted, somebody dies. You know, the karmis, they have no knowledge. Karmis have been described as moodas. Because they are running after shadow. That's all. And the Gyanis, see, the Gyanis, They understand that this is shadow, mithya. So shadow means what? There is reality also. Right? Shadow means, so without reality, how can there be there a shadow? So the Jnanis, they are searching after that reality. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So they understand this is shadow. Find out where is water. So the Jnanis are also in the darkness because they do not know where is water. They know it is shadow, but they don't know where the reality is there. They simply know that because it is shadow, therefore there must be something, somewhere the reality. This is Jnani. Karmis, they only just go on doing it. They don't know also. And Bhaktas, they know where is the real water. That's all. This is the difference. Karmis are like animals. They are after the shadow water, running, exhausted and finished. That's his karmi. Jnanis, they understand, no, that this is shadow, but there is reality. They know there is reality, but they don't know where there is the reality is. But a devotee knows that this is shadow, but it is shadow of the reality. And they know where is that reality. This is the difference. Prabhupada, in one of his lectures, he says, there is spiritual and material. So the material is simply a phantasmagoria. It is imitation of the reality. All varieties are there in the spiritual world, but here it is only. See, this is described in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, first verse. Urdhva moolam adashakam. That is called mirage. Right? In the desert, the animal is finding water. There is no water in the desert. But there is water, but not in the desert. And that they do not know. So this metal world is like a desert. Everything is reflection like the water. But there is no water in the reflection. Tejo varim mrda vinimayo yatra sri sargo amrisha. 111 Bhagavatam. See, here, the metal world, everything is a transformation of the three metal things. Fire, water, and earth. But it looks like reality. Just like the mirage, that is also. Tejo vari mrda vinimayam. By reflection of the sun falling on the sand, it looks like water. And the animal is running after water. And when he becomes fatigued, what happens? He dies. That's all. Urdhva moolam adashakam. 15.1 Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, there is a banyan tree which has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is a knower of the Vedas. So in the current verse which we are discussing, the 54, 12, 15, Prabhupada says in the purport, but behind this shadow creation, there is reality, the spiritual world. A devotee is interested in the spiritual world, not its shadow. Since he has the realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in this temporary shadow of earth. And this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivartate. So this material world is practically a reflection of the spiritual world. So just like the reflection of the tree on the bank of a reservoir of water is seen downwards, right? Similarly, this material world is called a shadow. In the shadow, there cannot be any reality. But at the same time, from the shadow, from shadow, there cannot be any reality. But at the same time, please understand a very important point. From the shadow, we can understand there is reality. The shadow of water in the desert suggests that in the desert there is no water, but there is water. Water is there, but there is no water in the desert. Similarly, in the reflection of the spiritual world, in the spiritual world, there is undoubtedly no happiness. There is no water. But the real water or actual happiness is in the spiritual world. Understood? In the reflection of the spiritual world, just like we saw, no? Reflection of spiritual world. So the material world is a reflection of spiritual world. So here there is no happiness, just like no water in the desert. But the real water or the actual happiness is in the spiritual world. So Krishna suggests that one has to reach that spiritual world. In 15.5 he says, Nirmana moha vijita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvair mukta sukha dukkha sanye gacchantya muda padamavyyantat. Krishna says, one who is free from illusion, false prestige, and false association, who understands the eternal, who is done with the material lust, and is freed from the duality of happiness and distress, and who knows how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attains to that eternal kingdom. See, in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find a description of the spiritual sky and the people who live there. See, its nature and features are also discussed. So from the second canto, we understand that there are spiritual airplanes in the spiritual sky. And that the living entity is there, no? Who are all liberated. They travel like lightning on those planes throughout the spiritual sky. This material world is simply an imitation. Whatever you see here is simply a shadow of what exists in the spiritual world. Material world is like a cinema, movie, where we see but an imitation or shadow of the real thing that is existing. So this material world is only a shadow. As it is given Bhagavatam 1:1:1, right? This illusory material world is a combination of matter. See, in the stores, no? When you go in the windows, we see often mannequins, models. But very intelligent man thinks that, but no intelligent man will think that mannequins are real. They're only a model, they are not real. You can see that they are imitations. Similarly, whatever we see here may be beautiful, just as the mannequin may be beautiful. But it is simply an imitation of the real beauty which is found in the spiritual world. Sridhara Swami says, the spiritual world is real. And this unreal material manifestation, no, only appears to be real. So we must understand that reality will never be vanquished. Reality will never be vanquished. And that in essence, reality means eternality. It is eternal. So material pleasure, which is temporary, is not actual. All this material pleasure which is temporary is not actual. Real pleasure exists in Krishna. So those who are after the reality, they don't participate in this shadow pleasure. So when everything in the material world is annihilated, okay, that spiritual nature, no, it remains eternally. And it is the purpose of human life to reach that spiritual sky. Unfortunately, people are not aware of the reality of the spiritual sky. According to Srimad Bhagavatam 7:531, Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnum. People do not know their self-interest. They do not know that human life is meant for understanding spiritual reality and preparing oneself to be transferred to that reality. See, no one can remain here in the material world. All Vedic literatures instruct us in this way. Tamasi ma jyotirgama. Don't remain in this darkness. Go to the light. So according to this 15th chapter, 15.6 Bhagavad Gita, Natad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakah yadgatva vartante taddhama paramam mama. That abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon or nor by electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. This material world is dark by nature, and we are artificially illuminating it with electric lights, fire, and so on. See, in any case, its nature is dark, but the spiritual nature is full of light. So when the sun is present, no, there is no darkness. Similarly, every planet in the spiritual sky is self-illuminous. Therefore, there is no darkness, nor is there any need of sun, moon, or electricity. The word Suryo means sun, Shashanko means moon, and Pavakaha means fire or electricity. So these are not required in the spiritual sky for illumination. And Krishna again says, Yadgatvana nivartante taddama paramamama. That is my supreme abode. And one who reaches it never returns to this material world. So throughout Bhagavad Gita, right, this is stated. And in 8th chapter, 21st verse, he says, Avyaktakshara ityuktas tamahum paramam gatim yam prapyana nivartante taddama paramamama. Again, taddama paramamama, he says, right? That supreme abode is called unmanifested and infallible. And it is a supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is my supreme abode. Again, the word avyakta meaning unmanifest is used. The word akshara means that which never annihilated or that which is infallible. That supreme abode is eternal. Now, because we are presently covered by a dress of material senses, we cannot see the spiritual world. And the spiritual nature is inconceivable for us. Yet, see, we can feel that there is something spiritual present. We can feel that. See, even a man completely ignorant of the spiritual nature can somehow feel its presence. One has to only analyze his body silently. What am I? Am I this finger? Am I this body? Am I this hair? No, I am not this and I am not that. I am something other than this body. I am something beyond this body. What is that? That is spiritual. In this way, we can feel or sense the presence of spirituality within this matter. See, we can sense the absence of spirit when a body is dead. If we witness someone dying, we can sense that something is leaving the body. Although we do not have the eyes to see it, that something is spirit. Its presence in the body is explained. In the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, 2.17, Avinashi tu tad viddhi, yena sarvam idam tatam, vinasham, avyayasa, avyayasyasya, na kaschet kartum arhati. Know that which pervades the entire body is indestructible. No one is able to destroy the imperishable soul. So spiritual existence is eternal, whereas the body is not eternal. It is said that the spiritual atmosphere is avyakta, unmanifest. How then can it be manifest for us? Making the unmanifest manifest is this very process of Krishna consciousness. So according to Padma Puran, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyehi sevonmukhe jihvado swayam eva sfurati yadaha. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses. But he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. So in this verse, the word indriyehi means the senses. See, we have 5 senses for gathering knowledge: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. And 5 senses for working: voice, hands, legs, genitals, and anus. So these senses are under the control of the mind. So it is stated in this verse that with these dull material senses, we cannot understand Krishna's name, form. Why is this? Because Krishna is completely spiritual and he is also absolute. Therefore, his name, form, and qualities and paraphernalia are also spiritual. And due to our material conditioning, our material bondage, we cannot presently understand what is spiritual. But this ignorance can be removed by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. See, if a man is sleeping, he can be awakened by sound vibration. You can call him, come on, it is time to get up. Although the person is unconscious, sleeping, hearing is so prominent that even a sleeping man can be awakened by sound vibration. So similarly, overpowered by this material conditioning, our spiritual consciousness is presently sleeping. But it can be revived by this transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare refers to the energy of the Lord, right? And Krishna and Rama refer to the Lord themselves. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we are praying, oh Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please accept me. See, we have no other prayer than please accept me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us that we should simply cry and pray that the Lord accept us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself prayed, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patitam Mam Vishme Bhavam Buddho, Kripa Tava Pada Pankaja, Sita Dhuli Sadarsham Vichintaya. In Shishashtakam he says, O Krishna, son of Nanda, somehow or the other I have fallen into this ocean of nescience and ignorance. Please pick me up from this place and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. If a man has fallen into the ocean, his only hope for survival is that someone comes to pick him up. Correct? He only has to be lifted 1 inch above the water in order to feel immediate relief. So as soon as we take to Krishna consciousness, we are lifted up and we feel immediate relief. See, we cannot doubt that the transcendental is there, right? It is there. Bhagavad Gita is being spoken by Krishna himself. So we should not doubt his words. The only problem is feeling and understanding what Krishna is telling us. That understanding must be developed gradually. And that knowledge will be revealed by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So by this simple process, we can come to understand the spiritual kingdom. the self, the middle word, Krishna, the nature of our conditioning, liberation from middle bondage, everything we can understand. This is called Cheto Darpana Marjanam, cleaning the dusty mirror of the impure mind. See, whatever the case, we must have faith in the words of Krishna. See, when we purchase a ticket, for example, in Air India to go to London, okay, we have faith that the company will take us to our destination. Faith is created because the company is authorized. So our faith should not be blind. So we should accept that which is recognized. So Bhagavad Gita has been recognized as an authorized scripture in India for thousands of years. And even outside India, there are many scholars, right, or philosophers who have accepted Bhagavad Gita as authoritative. It is said that even such a great scientist as Albert Einstein, he was reading Bhagavad Gita regularly. So we should not doubt Bhagavad Gita's authenticity. So when Lord Krishna says that there is a supreme abode, that we can go there, we should have faith that such an abode exists. Many philosophers think that the spiritual abode is impersonal or void. Impersonal is like these people, right? They generally speak of the void or emptiness. But Bhagavad Gita does not disappoint us in this way. The philosophy of voidism has simply created atheism because it is the nature of the living entity to want enjoyment. See, as soon as he thinks that his future is void, you try to enjoy the variegatedness of this middle world. So, impersonalism leads to just sitting armchair philosophical discussions, right? But just only discuss, no, nothing practical, and attachment to material enjoyment. See, we may enjoy speculating, but no real spiritual benefit can be derived from such speculation. Bhakti Pareshanubhav Viraktir Anyatra Cha. Bhagavatam 11:42 says, once we have developed the devotional spirit, we will become immediately detached from all kinds of material enjoyment. So we have to develop the devotional spirit. See, otherwise it is a ritual. You have to add spirit to the ritual, then it becomes spiritual. So as soon as a hungry man eats, he feels immediate satisfaction, right? And says, no, I don't want any more. I am satisfied. So this satisfaction is a characteristic of Krishna conscious man. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samash sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktin nabhate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes Supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18.54 says. And in 2.59 Bhagavad Gita, he says, Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. The last line of this purport of 12:15 says, right? As soon as one is spiritually realized, he feels full satisfaction and no longer hankers after the flickering material enjoyment. So the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagement by experiencing higher taste, he is fixed in Krishna consciousness. See, a doctor may tell a diseased man, okay, don't eat this, don't eat that. In this way, diseased man is forced to accept so many don'ts. But inside he is thinking, well, if I can just get these things, I will be happy. So the desire always still remains. Because doctor has told you may, but still it is there. But when one is established in Krishna consciousness, the higher taste is so strong inside that it doesn't experience the desire of fruitive activities. Param drishtva nivartate. So when something superior is acquired, one naturally gives up all the inferior things. So that which is superior is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And atheism and impulsivism cannot give us this. Krishna is attained only by unalloyed devotion. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attained by unalloyed devotion. 8.22 says, no? Purushasa parapartha bhaktya labhyasva ananyaha yasyantastani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. 8.22. See, although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. So the word Purushasa Paraha indicates the Supreme Person who is greater than all others. So this is not a void speaking, but a person who has all the characteristics of personality in full. See, just as we are talking face to face, When we reach the Supreme Abode, we can talk to Krishna face to face. We can play with him, eat with him, everything else. So this state is not acquired by mental speculation, but by transcendental loving service. Bhaktya labhya. So the words Tvananya indicate that this bhakti must be without adulteration. It must be unalloyed. So although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a person and is present in his abode in the spiritual sky, he is so widespread, all perfect, that everything is within him. He is both inside and outside. So although Krishna is everywhere, he still has his kingdom, his abode. The sun may be pervading the universe with its sunshine, yet the sun itself is a separate entity. So we are trying to find in this middle world real happiness, right? But the real happiness is in the spiritual world. See, the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is compared to the moon in the sky. Very important point to understand. Please understand this. Krishna is compared to the moon in the sky. And the living entity is compared to the reflection of the moon on water. See, the moon in the sky is fixed. That we can understand. And it does not appear to quiver, shake like the moon on the water. The reflection of the moon on the water, when the moon is moving, the moon also moves around, right? Quivers, shakes. But actually, the moon is fixed. Actually, like the original moon in the sky, the moon reflected on the water should also not move, right? Should be fixed. But because of being associated with water, the reflection appears to be quivering. Although in actual fact, the moon is fixed. The water moves, but the moon does not move. Actually, the fixed is fixed, but here, water moves, but the reflection feels like it is moving. Similarly, the living entities appear to be tainted by material qualities like illusion, lamentation, miseries. Although in the pure soul, such qualities are completely absent. Because just like the moon is appears to be quivering because it is attached with the water. It feels. That's why it is moving. But actually it's not. So same way, we are also trying to be attached to the material things. And that's the permanent thing. That's why we are not finding happiness. The real happiness is the spiritual world. See, suppose a living entity is now in a human form of body. He thinks that he belongs to the human community, particular country, particular place. He identifies himself in that way and unnecessarily prepares for another body, which is not required by him. So such desires and mental concoctions are the cause of different types of body. The covering influence of material nature is so strong that the living entity is satisfied in whatever body he gets. And he identifies himself with that body with great pleasure. But we should not be overwhelmed by the dictation of our mind and body. We should go above this. So we must understand what is this material world, how it is working. That is described in 15.1 Bhagavad Gita. Urdhvamulam adashakam ashwattam prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya paranani yastam vedasa vedavit. One who understands what is the constitution of this material world, how it is working, what we are, why we have come here, why we are so struggling hard for existence, what is our duty, how to get out of this entanglement. This is Vedic knowledge. Not only get out of this material entanglement, but to be engaged. Because simply to get out of is not the final business. Please understand. You have to get out of the material entanglement. That is right. But we have to be engaged. See, simply getting out is not the final business. Suppose you are being employed in a company, and if you don't like, you want to change, right? Simply write a resignation. That is not good. You must take another nice post, come out. Then it is good. So simply to become freed from this material entanglement is not enough. We have to remain eternal servant of Krishna. Engage in Krishna service. That is perfection of life. So anyone who is engaged in the eternal service of Krishna, he is perfect. He is mukta. So mukti means freed from useless activities. Mukti means freed from useless activities. So the material activities, they're all useless activities because it is the bodily concept of life. See, we should Because, in this same verse which we are discussing, Prabhupada says in the last line, right? Since he has realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in this temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivartate. See, we should not overeat and thereby fall a prey to various diseases. But is fasting a way to control our tongue? In Bhagavatam 11:8-20, the Avadut Brahmana says, by fasting, learned man quickly brings all the senses except the tongue under the control. Because by abstaining from eating, such men are afflicted with an increased desire to gratify the sense of taste. See, whimsical fasting is of no use. Prabhupada, in his wonderful purport to verse number 6.16, he makes it very clear that one who actually abstains from eating, manufacturing his own personal process of fasting, cannot practice yoga. The Krishna conscious person observes fasting as it is recommended in the scriptures. He does not fast or eat more than is required and is thus competent to perform yoga practice. That's why Prabhupada, Krishna says in 2.59, Vishya Vinivartante, right? The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. See, in Srirangam, there lived a person by name Dhanurdas, who was very much attracted to a prostitute. So much so that even when the Lord was brought in Utsavam in the streets of city, he was fanning her. So looking at this pathetic condition, Sripada Ramanujacharya inquired him very politely as to why he was behaving like this. For which Dhanudas replied that he had not seen anyone else with more beautiful eyes than that lady. Now the great sage Ramanujacharya asked him as to what he would do if he showed him someone far more beautiful than this. So Dhanudas replied, then he would devote his life to that person. So praying to Lord Ranganath, Sripada Ramanujacharya took that person, Dhanudas, in front of the Lord, right? Ranganath. So reciprocating the earnest prayers of his dear devotee, the Lord revealed the supreme beauty of his eyes. And immediately there was complete transformation in Dhanudas. Eventually, he became a very nice devotee among the disciples of Ramanujacharya. So in this pastime, we see that the sage, by giving Dhanudas the highest taste of darshan of the Lord, helped him to give up the taste for mundane things. So simply by fasting or abstaining our senses from the sense objects, whimsically on our own accord, we will not be able to attain complete control over our tongue or any other senses. Only by engaging the senses in a higher taste, we can control them. And that higher taste in case of tongue is Krishna Prasadam and Krishna Katha. So by tasting and talking about Krishna's mercy, Prasadam, we'll be free from all contaminations. So whatever food we eat, then the bhajan we recite, the kirtan we do, comes accordingly. The dress we wear comes accordingly. And this what we speak comes accordingly. That is, if we eat sattvic food offered to the Lord, then we will be able to do nice Krishna bhajan. We will wear simple clothes. And our speech will also be pure about Krishna. Whereas if we eat tamasic or rajasic food, then our bhajan will be mundane things like women, right? And will reflect in our degraded way of dressing and speech. So this point is very nicely explained by Prabhupada in his purport to verse number 3.11 Bhagavad Gita. Ahara shuddho sattva shuddhihi, sattva shuddho dhruvam smritihi, smriti labbe sarvaganthinam vipramokshaha. By performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified. And by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified. By the purification of existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. And when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, the great necessity of present-day society. So the potency of prasadam is inconceivable. So instead of whimsical fasting, we need to honor and distribute prasadam to all as per scriptural injunctions. So urdhva moolam, right? So just like, see, if you have to keep yourself, the legs are up and the head down. So somebody keeps you like this, right? How long you will feel comfortable? Somebody takes your legs and catches you, and your head is down. Is it very comfortable? So this whole material world is like that. Urdhva moolam. So the moolam should have been down. So it is uncomfortable, right? It is ulta reflection. So it is perverted reflection. It is reflection, but it's perverted. So we have all got experience of this urdhva moolam. On the bank of the river, right? The tree is standing, the reflection is there. Same tree has become urdhva moolam. Adashakam. So by this statement, Krishna says that this is not real. That reflection in the water of the tree is not real. The real tree is up. So real enjoyment, real varieties, everything is in the spiritual world. So here it is simply reflection, it is not a fact. So our enjoyment here is called Maya, illusion. So if you read this 15th chapter, no, you can later verses you can see Krishna has described how to get out of this Mayic reflection and go to the real tree. The time is of the essence, otherwise you can go through more and more. So please go through this 15th chapter, you can understand. Thank you very much, Mataji. You stop here, no? Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Janata Gopri Guru. Vancha Kalpataru Bhyacha Kripa Sindhu Bhagavacha. Patitanam Pavane Vishnu Ananta Kuri Vishnu. Thank you very much for hearing out and giving me the opportunity to glorify Krishna and purify myself. If you have any questions or anything, any takeaways from today, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, reality hit me very hard.
Yes.
Probably I'm being held in the inverted manner. I have to straighten myself by understanding the whole concept that you have shared.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very, very nice class. Thank you.
Thank you. Gurudev ki Shri Prabhupada. Okay. Anything else? No, we'll stop here now.
We are running after the shadows. It's complete dream and illusion.
Yes.
And
one beautiful word Prabhupada used. What is that? Anybody knows?
Yeah.
Param drishta nivartante.
No, English word.
English word was there. In that that should be
Phantasmagoria.
Magoria.
Yes. It's a very nice word Prabhupada uses, right? So nice.
And the beautiful, the other one is the moon, no? The water is moving, not the moon. So we are like that. We are moon actually.
Yeah.
But we are in the illusion and in the material world.
Correct.
But
yeah, we are now connected with the material world. That's why we are struggling. Actually, it's a reflection. Material world is actually a reflection of the original. So we are stuck here. Okay, so thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. So
Prabhuji, in the morning, we spoke about little this, whatever you spoke, but it was a very glimpse, like small glimpses, small drama. Today, you showed us the full cinema from 1 hour.
Cinema. Hare Krishna. Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Cinema is to be continued, Prabhuji. He just stopped in between.
Yes.
This is just the first episode.
Okay.
Yes.
So, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Time is of the essence, right? Everybody has to do so many activities. We cannot. See, if you want, my Maharaj used to say, if you want to waste time, waste your time. Don't waste others' time. Right? That's very important. Because wasting time is the greatest crime. So you should be very thoughtful about these things. So thank you, Mataji, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. We'll meet.